As the end of the world approaches, science faces mysteries. But what if miracles weren't just unexplainable events, but also the manifestation of divine laws science has yet to comprehend? Could the divine and the scientific coexist supernaturally, revealing God's grandeur in every cosmic event? The Bible begins with a grand declaration: "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth," Genesis 1 verse 1. This isn't just a theological statement, but also the seed of a profound understanding of the relationship between the divine and the scientific. Creation wasn't a random act, but an event orchestrated by a God who established the laws governing the universe. Science, in this context, can be seen not as an antagonist to faith, but as an extension of God's creative power. By unraveling the cosmos' secrets, from the gravity holding galaxies together to the complexity of life at a cellular level, we are, in a sense, exploring the Creator's mind. The natural laws we observe, physics, chemistry, biology, didn't appear out of nowhere. They are the framework upon which creation was built, a testament to divine order and intelligence. The expansion of the universe, the Big Bang as a scientific theory, and the subsequent formation of stars, planets, and, eventually, life on Earth, can be interpreted as phases of a divine plan. God didn't just switch on the universe and leave it to its own devices. He sustains and maintains it through these laws that science attempts to uncover. Every scientific discovery about the universe, be it the detection of gravitational waves or the observation of distant galaxies, reveals the vastness and complexity of God's work. The structure of the atom, the precision of the cosmological constants that allow for life's existence, all this can be seen as evidence of divine ingenuity. Science doesn't diminish faith in creation, on the contrary, it deepens it, allowing us to glimpse the designer's magnitude. The origin of natural laws is, for the believer, the manifestation of God's power, who not only instituted them but also uses them to fulfill His purposes, including those related to the end of the world. The Bible is replete with miracles, events that defy human logic and seem to suspend natural laws. However, it's intriguing to consider that, even in these extraordinary occurrences, science can offer additional perspectives, without necessarily nullifying their divine character. Take, for example, the Red Sea parting, Exodus 14. While faith attributes it directly to God, some scientific theories suggest a strong, persistent east wind could have pushed the water back, revealing dry land. Similarly, the plagues of Egypt, Exodus 7-12, can be viewed as a cascading sequence of natural events. The proliferation of red algae in the Nile, water turning to blood, may have led to the death of fish and amphibians, frogs, which in turn favored the proliferation of insects, gnats, flies, culminating in diseases and sores, boils, due to a lack of sanitation and hygiene. Another example is manna in the desert, Exodus 16. Though described as food sent from heaven, some hypotheses suggest it could be a sugary secretion from certain plants or insects, common in desert regions, which solidified overnight. Jesus' healing of diseases, while undoubtedly a divine act, can also be analyzed through the lens of psychosomatics or the placebo effect, where deep faith and belief activate the body's self-healing mechanisms. However, it's crucial to reiterate that, even with the existence of plausible scientific explanations, God's action is central to all these miracles. The convergence of natural factors at the exact moment and place needed for divine purpose is not coincidence, but providence. Science can describe the how, but never the profound why of a miracle. The Bible reminds us that, with God all things are possible, Luke 1 verse 37. And this includes His ability to use nature itself for His ends, including announcing the signs of the end of the world. The natural laws governing the universe are the basis of our scientific understanding. Gravity, thermodynamics, electromagnetism, all operate with impressive precision and consistency. Yet, for the believer, these laws aren't just blind forces, they reflect God's divine power. They are the operating system God established for the cosmos, a testament to His order and intelligence. When science describes planetary orbits, star formation, or DNA's complexity, it is, in a way, unraveling the modus operandi of divine creation. It's important to note that science, while a powerful tool for explaining certain aspects of reality, does not diminish divine control over miracles. On the contrary, it can even enhance the magnificence of God's work. If a miracle can be partially explained by natural processes science doesn't yet fully comprehend, it doesn't mean God didn't act. It means he may have used those same laws he established, or laws that transcend our current understanding, to fulfill his purposes. Quantum physics, for instance, with its uncertainties and probabilities, or chaos theory, showing how small variations can have large impacts, may suggest the universe is more malleable and complex than we imagine, allowing for subtle yet powerful divine intervention. The harmony between natural laws and divine power lies in the idea that God is the author and sustainer of both. He isn't just the creator of a static universe, but a God who actively interacts with his creation. The cosmic events and signs of the end of the world described in the Bible, such as falling stars or the sun darkening, can be interpreted as both supernatural events and manifestations of extreme natural phenomena, orchestrated by God. Science can help us understand how these events might occur, but faith reveals the why and the divine purpose behind them. The beauty of natural laws is their ability to reveal the Creator's perfection and intelligence, while miracles remind us that he transcends those same laws when he so chooses. The miracle of the multiplication of the loaves and fish, Matthew 14 verses 13 to 21, is one of the most astonishing biblical accounts, where Jesus feeds a crowd of 5,000 men, besides women and children, with just 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. From a strictly scientific standpoint, such an event directly challenges the laws of conservation of mass and energy. There is no known natural process that allows for the creation of matter from nothing or the instantaneous reproduction of food on such a scale. It is precisely this unexplainable nature that classifies it as a miracle. However, if we explore possible plausible scientific explanations that, while not negating the miracle, offer a different perspective, we could consider the possibility of a mass sharing and generosity phenomenon. Jesus' presence and his message of compassion could have inspired the crowd to share the food they secretly kept, but had not revealed out of shame or selfishness. The small initial amount presented to Jesus would have acted as a catalyst, an example of generosity that spread, leading to an unexpected communal feast. The abundance of 12 basketfuls of leftovers might symbolize not created material matter, but the abundance of human generosity and divine provision manifested through it. Another hypothesis, more speculative and aligned with Jesus' ability to manipulate nature, could involve molecular acceleration or a biological replication process on a microscopic scale, where food cells would reproduce exponentially. While unfounded in current science, this would be a form of explanation that still requires extraordinary divine intervention. Regardless of any attempt at scientific explanation, be it social, psychological, or even a future discovery of how matter can be manipulated, the affirmation that God remains the author of the miracle remains unshakable. The magnitude of the event, its occurrence at the perfect time and place, and its impact on the faith of the disciples and the crowd, point to divine intervention. Science can help us understand the how of some phenomena, but faith assures us the who and the why. In the context of cosmic events and the end of the world, God's ability to turn the improbable into reality is a reminder that his ways are greater than ours. The New Testament is filled with miracles demonstrating Jesus Christ's power, from healing the sick and casting out demons to controlling nature. How can science relate to these events without diminishing divine power? The key lies in understanding that faith and science aren't necessarily opposed, but can, in certain aspects, operate in harmony, revealing different layers of divine reality. Consider Jesus' healings. Many involve diseases that, today, would be considered incurable or require complex medical interventions. The healing of a man born blind, John 9, or the resurrection of Lazarus, John 11, are examples of events that transcend current medical understanding. However, the science of psychosomatics recognizes the deep connection between mind and body, where emotional and spiritual states can influence physical health. Jesus' faith and charismatic presence could have activated self-healing mechanisms or awakened latent capabilities in the body that modern medicine doesn't yet fully comprehend. Furthermore, prayer and belief are elements that neuroscience is beginning to investigate, observing brain and physiological changes associated with spiritual practices. Even Jesus walking on water, Matthew 14 verses 22 to 33, one of the most extraordinary miracles, can be debated. While the supernatural explanation is evident, some scientific speculations attempt to address it, for example, by suggesting a thin ice phenomenon on a cold night, or an optical illusion caused by reflections. However, these explanations fail to capture the essence of the miracle, which is the demonstration of Jesus' power over the laws of nature. What truly matters is that, regardless of any attempt at scientific explanation, God's power is behind all events. Science might suggest the how of certain aspects, but divine intervention is the fundamental why. The harmony between faith and science manifests when we recognize that science explores the universe created by God and the laws He established, while faith connects us with the Creator and His will. The New Testament miracles, especially, are proof of God's sovereignty over His creation, including the cosmic events that precede the end of the world. They remind us that, while science is a valuable tool for understanding the natural world, divine power transcends our comprehension and acts in ways that defy human logic, to fulfill His eternal purposes. We arrive at the core of the matter, no matter how much science advances, unraveling the universe's secrets and offering explanations for phenomena once considered unexplainable, it will never be able to fully comprehend divine mysteries. Science operates within the limits of the observable, measurable, and replicable. It seeks patterns, formulates theories, and tests hypotheses, always based on empirical evidence. However, God's divinity transcends these limits. God is not an entity that can be placed under a microscope or analyzed in a laboratory. He is not restricted by the laws He Himself created to govern the universe. The concept of an omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent God is, by nature, metaphysical and supernatural. The creation of the universe from nothing, the existence of a purpose for life, the resurrection of Christ, these are events beyond our capacity for replication or full scientific explanation. Science can describe the Big Bang, but not what existed before it, nor the force that propelled it. It can study DNA's complexity, but not the origin of life itself, nor human consciousness. Science operates from a limited human perspective. Our instruments, our perceptual abilities, and our intelligence are finite. We are part of creation, and as such, we cannot fully comprehend the Creator. The Bible reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." Isaiah 55 verses 8 to 9. This transcendence of God does not diminish the importance of science, on the contrary, it makes it even more fascinating. It allows us to glimpse fragments of divine majesty, but never the totality. The cosmic events and the signs of the end of the world, described in the Bible, are a powerful reminder that there is a dimension beyond what science can explain. They are manifestations of the power of a God who is beyond time and space, who controls the universe's destiny, and who, ultimately, remains a divine mystery, inspiring reverence and worship. Ultimately, are miracles merely scientific events not yet understood, or manifestations of inscrutable divine power? Science offers powerful lenses to unravel the how, but will never reach the ultimate why. God remains beyond our comprehension, the supreme author who governs cosmic events and the end of the world, remaining the greatest mystery to be contemplated, always.